Fuck that engine.
And I gotta get a couple things done before I go to work. One thing I gotta do is work on this Craftsman LT1000. So a customer called me and said, "Hey Brad, I noticed my mower was low on oil." So I put oil in it and I was using it and it's locked up. And she is locked up. So I've actually had this problem happen before. Where people put the wrong weight oil in the thing and it causes the engine to lock up. You know, you really can't put like 5Ws, 30s or 20s or whatever in this thing. These things just want straight 30 weight or straight 40 weight. Even on the newer motors, when the newer mowers want, like, you say you can use 10W30, I don't use that. I use straight 30 or straight 40. You're not mowing in the winter time, so why are you using winter oil? Alright, and you get protection of the 30 weight and the 40 weight. So anyway, this is very similar to the pulley model that we had, but we're gonna go through her, give her a good old servicing. Hopefully we can free the motor up. If we can't free the motor up, then we gotta replace this motor. Alright? So hang tight. Let's get this one done too. Alright, so we're going to try and turn the main flywheel with the big ass wrench. But for right now, we're going to take this cover off. So I already took these little screws off here, so nobody needs to see that. I got this tool at Tractor Supply. My father got it for me, actually. It's a crescent wrench. But I like how you can see through it, so it works good for like studs and stuff, but as a quick little tool, it works really good. It's nothing fancy. I mean, I beat the hell out of the thing, so try not to use the F word. Beat the hell out of the thing, and does the job just fine, so what do you want? This is the same style jug head as the other one. This one's just newer, I believe. And looks like I gotta get a big Torx wrench, so hold on. And come off as simple as that. Alright. Okay. Put this shit away, and then we're gonna try and turn this thing. Oh, there's cheese puffs. There's a Lego. What the fuck's in here? Walnut. What else is in here? There's a lot of cheese puffs in here. Must have had a mouse. Yeah, look at all these cheese puffs. Alright. Let me put this 1-inch socket on here. Wow, she is locked up. Wow, tightening in the nut. Jesus. There we go. There we go. What are you hitting? What are you hitting? Wow. Jesus. Took the valve cover off. I'll take the spark plug out. And just want to see what's moving and what's not moving. Just to make sure. Because it almost sounds like we broke a connecting rod. Let me get a pencil. Alright, we're going to put a pencil right in here. And you guys tell me if anything moves. Hold on. Okay. Get a little movement out of the one thing. Wow. What the fuck is going on here? I'm gonna be able to show you. Anyway, as I'm putting my eyes on that piston, I'm rotating this engine here, and you know the push rods are going up and down, but that piston is not moving for shit. So he broke a connecting rod, so that's okay. We're going to do an engine swap on this thing. This will make for a good video. Damn. So I went to my little engine junkyard for lawnmowers that I usually go to. And I picked up, well, they had this Aaron's engine there, and it was the exact same engine. It was an Aaron's lawnmower, and it had the exact same engine, same Briggs engine on it. And so literally I just cut, bolted everything under it, and just got this whole engine here. So what I'm going to do is disassemble this some, and I'm going to get it all together. I'm going to do a full servicing on it. I did a compression test on it. It's good. So and it, you know, it spins freely just like it should compared to the other bullshit one. So I'm going to get this thing all dolled up, ready to go, and we're going to install this on that engine, on that Craftsman LT1000. So, that's what we're working with. It's late at night, but that's okay. It's real foggy out, too. But we're going to get it done. Alright, so I got this thing up on my little workbench here. So one thing when I'm doing engine swaps is, this is the same make, model, horsepower engine. I should say it's the same make. Yeah, same make and model, horsepower engine. However, there are differences. So, a couple basic differences are, one, you know, the primary one is really just the muffler here. So, just base this was on a little zero turn. See how this muffler, I got this cute little dumb thing here? Well, muffler on this system here is slightly different. It's really no big deal. You know, it's still 2 bolts. So we'll zip this one off, put the other one on. The other thing is, I gotta put the starter from this one on the one over there. And I'm probably gonna take this carburetor and put it on this one too, because this one is slightly different. And what was different about it? Actually, it's not really different at all, I guess not. Let me just double check that, because I thought it was different. Something was off somewhere. Just look one more time. But anyway, you want to constantly look at the 2 engines to make sure what you're doing is somewhat right. Yeah, the carb looks the same, so I am going to swap this out just based on how this fuel line elbows out and the fuel solenoid's there. So I'm just going to unbolt this one and bolt the other one on. It'll be fine. Yeah. Bolt on, bolt out. Same, this thing's got a fuel solenoid too. It's just, it's a little different. So throw it on. It should be jetted the same. If it's not for whatever reason, then I'll end up bolting this one back on here. But I think we'll be okay. So, like I said, this was a good running engine. Was pulled out of a unit. And yeah, that's about it. So without further ado, I'm going to rip the shit off of this one. And by shit, I mean I'm going to rip this off, take the carb off. And that's really it. I'm not going to show you guys that because, I mean, like I said, this is 2 bolts. This is 2 bolts. Come on. Alright, hang tight. Alright, I'm sucking all the oil out of this thing. So, changing my game plan up as I'm going, but that's normally how it goes. Anyway, you always want to make sure, ideally you want to get the same model engine with the same electrical hookup. It just makes things so much easier. However, if you can't, it's not the end of the world. You got to do some probing and cut and see what'll work. Now this one should bolt right up. The one I took off has a newer style, like ignition system. You know, this one's got like an old school stator style, but that's okay. This will work out just fine. So just gonna take that out and draining the oil, vacuuming the oil out actually. Yeah, let's keep sucking it out. And let's see, don't care about that. So gotta disconnect the battery. You know what I might just do is, yeah, let's disconnect the battery. And then we'll take the starter off. Okay. Okay. Just let that hang out to dry. And spin that back on. I do want to take this pecker out. Those look like 12s. So let's go to the other side. Throttle cable, got to take that off. That's a star drive. Okay, and then again with these goddamn no fuel shutoffs. So we'll clip that. Call that a. Okay. Loosen this puppy up. Okay. And we'll let that sit over here. Ooh, oil drained out, that's good. Okay, we're going to take, these are 10s I think. Look like it. So we're going to take the throttle cable, the intake off. The other thing I noticed on the other engine, there's a little bit of water in the intake, so I prefer not to F around, if you will. This one's good and clean, so. Okay, and we want to push this thing out. And we want to, what the fuck? This thing's got water in it too. I think everybody's lying to me. I bet you this thing got fucking hydrolocked. Everybody's lying to me. Get this fucking thing out of the way. Starter and the exhaust off. So I think it's a 12. And I just want to make sure we get a hole for the exhaust bracket on the other one. You have a mount. Looks like we do. Yep, we do. Same fucking engine. Holy gasoline. Somebody better light that shit on fire. Alright. Okay. Let me get some more shit together so I can stop walking back and forth with the camera. Normally I'm rip-roaring on these things, and I have this engine out in a half hour. Anyway, you want to just loosen these up a little bit, and like, it's really hard to get a socket in here. It's just bad with how the starter is. So what I find best is just to get this thing loose a little bit, even if you gotta whack with like a hammer and a chisel, and then you just use a T40 with a screwdriver just to undo the damn thing. So otherwise you can't fit anything else in there. You can, I mean, I did it before until I learned how to do it this little way. You gotta try different things to see what works best. And changing the starter on a lawnmower is, you know, it's a joke, it's really no big deal. Alright, so we're gonna set the starter aside. Alright, so the only thing we got left to do is take the pulley off. And ideally you want to take the belt off first, but, well, I'll show you the right thing. We'll take the belt off first. I ain't gonna mess around. Now you don't need a lift. I mean, I got an engine hoist, so what the hell, might as well pick the tractor up because it makes my life easier. Ideally you want to either jack your tractor up some or get ramps, drive under ramps. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna impact this pulley off. I'm gonna take this off, gonna take the drive belt off underneath, and then we're just gonna zip off this engine. And this engine is literally anchored with 4 screws, 4 bolts. Really zip them off and then take the engine, and I'm gonna do a surprise video with this engine. I told the Spank Ranch garage what I'm doing with this engine, but this engine's gonna be a special YouTube video. We're gonna have fun with this thing. Alright, it's getting a little late out and the gas is not yet dry, so I think what I'm gonna do is save this for the morning. It's supposed to be a nice day out. I'll probably get out here around 5 in the morning and then pop this engine off. And yeah, hang tight. So this is this is something I haven't encountered before. So this replacement engine that I'm going to use, this pulley that's on here, I was initially thought it was, you know, normal pulley, but after, damn, where's my, oh well, after looking at this whole thing's one piece. So either this pulley is pressed onto this shaft, which I actually don't believe it is, but it may be, or it's threaded on, because when I stick my little screwdriver here, so she's going to about there. So I'm thinking she goes in and threads onto the shaft. Maybe? I mean, it could be keyed on, but what's holding it on? Either it's pressed or it's on. I don't know. See, the other thing I noticed is it has these flat marks on here, which I've never seen on other pulleys before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to unscrew this thing. See if it works. Alright. So I started thinking maybe this thing is pressed on, but I was like, I just don't know what I'm going to put against, because I got to pull against something. So what I did is I went through my bolt bin, and I found a smaller bolt, I don't know, let's say it's 3/8, 5/16, whatever, that was long enough, and I jammed it all the way in, and now I'm pulling and pushing against this bolt, and believe it or not, she's coming off. So this is her first one for me, so I never had to do this, but you can see as I'm cranking on her, she's coming right off. So I knew we'd figure it out. I just didn't know how. Like I said, it just didn't make sense. It still kind of doesn't. So, and now I'm bottomed out my bolt, so I gotta go find a longer bolt. But that's okay. At least we know it comes off. That's a positive. Alright. So now we're gonna take this plate off. And we got our donor engine. Alright. So now, this engine's ready to go into the other tractor. Like I said, that just anchors in with the 4 bolts, so I am going to put the spark plug on, new spark plug on this thing now. And yeah, I'll put a new oil filter on this thing now too. And let's see what happens. Yeah. So next you'll see me drop the engine out of that thing, or lift the engine out of that thing. So the socket for this main pulley, which is your deck pulley and your drive belt pulley, all in one, is 5/8. So let's zip this thing off. And let's just see, yeah, it pulls right out. That's nice. And might as well look at the condition of the belt over here. The drive belt looks good. Deck belt has seen better days, so I'm going to tell the customer we're going to replace that deck belt because, I mean, it's just going to fail soon, 100%. All right, so with that gone, now we got to remove our 4 engine mount bolts. Which, where the hell are they? Oh man, okay, we got one here, and another one there. They look like 9/16. Try to give an educated guess. I think that's what they are. And they are. So we're gonna zip those off. Zip them off. Let's get an extension. When I get enough money for my business, I will have a big garage. Maybe a pole barn. Hey! And sure enough, the battery died on the impact. So let me go get a new battery. Now I've dropped this battery 10 million times. And the charger says it's good. Impact says it's full. What the hell? Maybe she wasn't in all the way. Okay. It's 2. What would you do without your impacts now? Another one. There's always like dirt, hay. Well, hay because I'm used to tractors, but there's like dirt and have to get another extension here. Okay. The engine should come right out. Like that. So, yeah. Let's throw this sucker away. All right, we're gonna set her in real nice. Now remember, I already put the starter from the other engine on this, and we replaced the oil filter and everything already. So we should be looking pretty good. Okay. All right. Now with that up, I am noticing that, so these aren't threaded, and these, because it's aluminum, these type of screw bolts are pretty much self-threading, and looks like we can do that on this too. So I'm gonna use these self-threading bolts. If you don't have these, you can just use regular, just through bolt it, bolt and washer and nut. But we got these, so let's use them. All right, so I bolted the engine up, and now I am just putting on this mounting bracket back on for the muffler, and then we're going to bolt the muffler up, and I'm going to put some oil in it after that. You want to bolt the muffler up first before you tighten on the exhaust, because you want to make sure that's set, because mufflers tend to rattle. You don't want it hitting the frame. She's tight there. Sheesh. Okay. Tell you what, ball Allens are the way to go for when you're using Allen tools. This is the ball Allen. They are the way to go. Okay. Okay. So that's tight. I've got our spark plug on. Do want to put our starter back. Oh, do want to put our starter back on. I'm worried about this little port. I don't know if this port's supposed to go to an intake or what, but I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, this is the same engine, so this should be a direct plug-in. Probably not. No, my luck. No way. Okay. That's plenty tight. Alright, so all the connections should be good, I think. Let's put some oil in her and get a key. Alright, battery's dead as a doornail, so we're gonna have to get this guy a new battery. But what I'm gonna do is put my big charger on there, so I'm gonna put on boost and put some shit in the carb, and let's see if she gives us a cough. See what it sounds like. All right, she's on full battery power. Ooh. Tell you what, she sounds good. So, I always do that as a test. So I put a quart of oil in it, but I always do that as a test. One, you want to see what it sounds like. You want to make sure there's no rod knocking or anything like that. You also want to make sure it fires, because you don't want to do everything and then be, oh shit, I got to strip it all down. So I'm happy with that. So because of that, I'm going to proceed with this engine. Like I said, I got another one over there too I could use, but I said this is a direct matchup. That one's a better engine. It's lower horsepower, but it is a better engine. But I wanted to put a like for like in, so. All right, let me go get a beer. All right, we gotta get cracking here. I need to take a phone call, and now we're losing light. So, can you guys see? Is it too dark? All right, adjust. Anyway, now we're gonna hook the throttle back up. Remember, we put her in this little doohickey. Now, we may have to adjust this later, but for right now, she's, where is she? Throttled down. So throttled down. So I'm gonna say that's throttled down, right? What's this? Throttle up is pull it all the way straight. Okay, so all the way back is throttle up. So with throttle fully on, yeah, throttle fully up, we're gonna pull this back. And let's throw that in there. I want to get moving a little bit here. Alright, so we'll throw that on there. So we'll test the throttle, make sure it's working. Alright, low, high, low, high. Okay. Put this cover on it. There. All right, she's running pretty good. Slight misfire, but you know, I think once she's running for a little bit, she'll be just fine. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, so anyway, besides that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to power wash this puppy, and then, yeah, bring her to the customer. So this video's done. She cuts well. I did put a deck belt on it because the deck belt was shot, but you saw that in other videos. So anyway, did the engine swap, and she's doing pretty good. So off to the next one.